It's Frankfurt
Uh,
versus Rangers, and Frankfurt are plus 130 to win in 90 minutes. Rangers are plus 210. The under overs 2.5. That was a bit of a surprise to me, but not that you're going to have to pay the juice at minus 125. The draw is at plus 245. Frankfurt to score twice is at plus 115. Alex, I'm hoping that we see a Frankfurt side that do exactly what they've done in recent rounds against the likes of Barcelona, against West Ham, and against Betis, because they come out the traps and they put their opponents on the back foot first. Even better in a one-off game.
they should follow the same recipe. I mean, they had a great success with it so far. I think that they will do it again. But I think that Rangers learned from their mistake. I think that Rangers, from the first minute, they will not go like they are going at Ibrox, like all guns blazing. Rangers, I think that they will have an approach like they had on the road against RB Leipzig, with 10 men behind the ball, trying to see what Eintracht will offer. I don't think that they will repeat the same mistake like West Ham, giving too much space to these Eintracht players. They will be very aggressive because this is their style, aggressivity. They are missing also some of their important players. Let's not forget, but they have the top scorer of the competition so far in their starting 11. So that's a huge plus for them. On the other side, I don't think that they will be desperate to score a fast goal, even though they have the weapons to do that, because they will try how you say to put the balls on the wings really fast, with Kostic on the left side, with Kamada in the middle. Kamada is also their top scorer this season in Europa League. They will have Bore. By the way, Bore, very impressive performance this season, because at the beginning of the season I had my doubts, because he was replacing Andre Silva, who left last season. But Bore is getting better and better, and I really like him to at least score in this one. I don't know. They have they are very determined, this Eintracht side. I don't know. I really like their attacking spirit, their aggressivity from the middle and up. They will not stay back to relax. It's not their style. And I was very, very right saying that last weekend against Mainz, they had their best starting 11 for the majority of the match, because this is how you approach a final, having all your players fully fit, but not leave them on the bench, because after that they don't know what to play. Have them prepared, and really it's time for them to show what they are capable of. I don't think that if it was only Real Betis, if it was only Barcelona, if it was only West Ham, you could say that they were lucky. But it was three double leg ties in which Eintracht showed what they're capable of,
Yeah,
risking
because
their
Alex,
domestic season.
but they put all of them three teams under pressure. And then that meant that because they came out and they got themselves in front in the tie, all three of the sides, West Ham, big strong side, Barcelona, technically one of the top five sides in the whole of European football, and Betis, they were when Frankfurt beat Betis, Betis were one of the top three sides in La Liga. Right, so we're not
Exactly.
saying that they've had an easy, but I tell you what, Frankfurt got to do. Frankfurt have got to start right. Right, let me give you both some of these, Alex, and obviously I've got to get to Roman to speak then about Rangers. The Alex Classic of both teams to score and over is at plus 110. If we think Frankfurt are going to start fast, then Frankfurt just to be leading at half time, plus 190. There's plus money wherever you go. What about Frankfurt? We don't see nils here, right? I don't see clean sheets. Frankfurt and both teams to score at plus 330. Frankfurt and under 4.5 at plus 150. Am I going a bit too heavy here on the
Yeah, I
Germans?
think that I think that you are going a bit too heavy with the Germans. I know, because you had an amazing weekend across all the leagues at Bet US, but and you should really continue like that, because at the end of the day it's part of your strategy. and if it keeps on giving, go with it, you know. So,
Well,
but
where are
for
you
my
going in this game? Because you know
yeah,
these Germans. Like, I mean, you've got a family member on the left wing.
exactly. I hope for the sake of the football gods should be with Germany right now. But Rangers are such a unpleasant team to play against. Mostly at Ibrox. Now it's a neutral stadium. They are not home. Not the both teams are on the road. Neutral stadium. Uh, I don't know. I hope that Eintracht will win, but I don't want to have a bet on the winners market, even though the price on Eintracht to win it in a regular time looks very good.
It does. And what about this fast start, though, Roman? Because then now we've got to start talking about Rangers because they do score goals, especially when they're at home, and they have played top opposition, so their confidence will be high. But in a one-off tie, I'm fearful that Rangers, the occasion gets to them, and they come away from their DNA. They hand the initiative to Frankfurt, and then Rangers are chasing the game.
I mean, it's hard to say who's going to really have the initiative because let's not forget that Frankfurt have been really strong in the break in those counterattacks. They have a lot of pace in those wings, and they've really done well putting in those crosses. And we saw it against Barca, we saw it against Betis, we saw it in the semi-final. I mean, Frankfurt have a lot of capacity to just go forward, and if they maybe allow Rangers to have a bit of the ball, they could really make the most of that. But I mean, in any case, I still think Frankfurt are going to be a very offensive side. Alex was talking about Rangers learning from the mistakes. I mean, I thought the same with West Ham. I thought they would learn like from the mistakes other teams made against Eintracht Frankfurt, like Barca, etc. But then we saw that Frankfurt were still very aggressive and still managed to break down a very physical team such as West Ham. So I'm not sure what Rangers are going to be capable of, even though, of course, we've seen it before against other teams. They're really strong and they can go forward and get goals. So that's why, I mean, looking at goals definitely seems like a realistic option. It's true that in a final, sometimes you go a bit more nervous, try to close down a bit more in defense. But if you look at the past Europa League finals, except the 1-1 between Villarreal and Manchester United, most of them have had goals. And I think these two teams should provide a very similar outcome in terms of goals. And overall, I do think that Frankfurt are the favorites, mainly for a few reasons. But first of all, of course, because they've been playing really great football in Europa League. Then also, they're the stronger away side, as Alex mentioned at the beginning. I mean, they've got really good results in really tough stadiums along the knockout stages, and even in the group stages, they got some decent results away from home. And then also, they feel really comfortable in Spain. I mean, we saw it in Barcelona and in Sevilla, and they're going to return again to Sevilla, even though now we said the temperature will be maybe a bit higher, of course. But I don't think that will be too much of a problem for them. And for me, they should be the winners in this competition.
Okay, let's get I still want to stay with you, Roman, but let's get these numbers back up because I think there's plenty if whichever way you fall. Because the first one that jumps out at me is I think personally Frankfurt scored twice, and at plus 115, that's my build because that gives me over 1 unit. So I'll take that unit, Roman, and I will then put it. Do we expect over 2.5 goals on both teams to score because that's at plus 110, or just the over 2.5 goals at minus 125. But I don't see 3-0. So why would you take over 2.5 when you're going to get both teams to score an over at 35 cents better in your favour?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see both teams scoring. I don't see clean sheets, and I see goals. Honestly, seeing the bit of how these teams have been competing throughout this competition, how their performances have been. I know, as I said before, it's a final. Teams a bit more nervy maybe at the start, but I just think that at some point, they will let go, and I think we're going to see goals because both teams have more to offer offensively, I think, than defensively. And in any case, I think that over 2.5 on both teams to score is definitely a very good valid option. Or any way you go, even over 2.5 or even, as you were saying before, a team total for Frankfurt. I mean, there's really a lot of value if you really trust that there will be goals.
Let's not forget that Frankfurt are undefeated throughout this season in Europa League. So It will be very interesting to see if they will keep the trend going, or they will lose the first match directly in the final, which I doubt it. I doubt it. My only worry is here that Martin Hinteregger at the back is injured and he will miss the match. So he's one of the most important players on Eintracht defense. He's the Van Dijk of Eintracht Frankfurt, if you want to put it that way. Martin Hinteregger, and he will miss also on set pieces because he was always going up when there was a corner or a free kick or something like that. By the way, looking at the corners market at 10.5, the line is at 10.5, and I really think that this game should go over at plus 120 for 10.5, because Rangers are a team that love their corners. Eintracht are always coming with crosses from the left and from the right, and that result in corners. So I think that we'll see at least 11 corners in this match at plus 120.
Alex, who do you think has the most corners? Because if I'm weighing this up, I'm probably going with Frankfurt -1.
It all depends who will lead. And another thing that you were saying that they will come strong, Eintracht, like they usually do. I think that you should take advantage of that, saying that the odds for over 0.5 goals till the 30th minute in the match, so between the first whistle of the game and 30 minutes, is at plus 100. So one goal in the first 30 minutes of the match is also an interesting take there.
Okay, what about this one though? Because Vlad's just come up with an absolute beauty, and I'm loving this, and so should everybody else. It's plus 8.5 corners in the game, and Frankfurt double chance at plus 100. We can all see 9 goals, and then we're getting plus 100 for a Frankfurt double chance. Now, Frankfurt bet is like minus 150. So that, I mean, if you're a Frankfurt fan and you think, listen, there've got to be 9 goals. There's got to be.
Also,
nine corners, not 9 goals.
Also, Patrick, Frankfurt draw double chance plus over 2.5 goals at plus 130. But he also says that the Alex Classic should be a free hit in this one.
Yeah, I think that we're not going to get done here by it being 0-0 unless Rangers turn up and they have an inferiority complex, which I don't think either of these sides will. So it's going to be conducive for end-to-end. I think that
I think it's dangerous. I think it will be dangerous for Rangers to go and say, okay, we will defend for 90 minutes. They will. It's a flip of the coin here, right? So I don't know. They also have. They don't have some of their best players, but they do have a great attack with Kamara. What a nice goal he scored against Leipzig. They can score from outside the box with shots. Also, Frankfurt can do the same thing. So the attacking firepower is there, and let's not forget that also Frankfurt is worrying me, their defensive issues, because they don't know how to keep clean sheets on their own, Plus they're missing Hinteregger right now. So it's all about goals in this one. Hopefully,
I mean, James is saying there's no goalless draw. Roman, James Stoney's saying Frankfurt struggled against a low block and Gio will outsmart them. No, because West Ham were a low block. I know, obviously, they went 1-0 down after, I know, not even a minute. But second half, Frankfurt just kept the ball. Possession, everything seems to point towards, first of all, goals. So both teams to score an over is plus 110. I think both teams to score just in the games like at minus 140. I think it's time that we had a little look at the official picks. And what I'm going to do here is basically try and get a little bit more meat on the bone of why. So first of all, Frankfurt over 1.5 goals at plus 175. Brings in the Alex Classic. Also brings in the 2-0, though, if we do see Rangers draw a blank. Or we have an upset and they just go bonkers. And it's like 3-0, 4-0, which I cannot see. For me, Frankfurt win and both teams to score at plus 330. And remember, we are on such a roll. 5-0 in the Premier League last week. And then we swept the cup final for nearly muchos units. Over 2.5 goals in the game at minus 125. Alex, would you not prefer to have the Alex Classic
I do.
Plus 110?
I do. Plus 110. Yeah, it's 35 cents difference. Yeah, I think that, but you know, this is a banker for me. Over 2.5 goals is a banker for me. That's why I'm not going 1 unit. Yes, I'm going with the Alex Classic, both team to score and over 2.5 goals.
And what's
But
this other one I'm seeing?
I'm also
What's
trying. I'm also trying a nice prop here.
nice?
Yeah.
It's plus
Yeah.
1,500. That's bigger than most of my futures that I do last August, Alex. Ball to score and get a yellow card at plus 1,500. If that comes in, honest to God, I'm going Hawaii for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I really love this
We're all
player,
going.
and I
Well,
really
I'm
love how
inviting you. You can make your own way.
how he's staying in that. How he's taking advantage of the free spaces in every opponent defense. You know, I really love the fact that he's fast, that he can score from outside the box, that he can score with a header, and hopefully Kostic will set a nice goal for him. And when he will score in the 87th minute of the game, he will take out his T-shirt and he will get yellow carded, and
Yeah, listen,
that's
that's
it.
great knowledge. That's great knowledge because it's also, and this is the other one, in play, you can have a little look at either goalkeeper to get booked, because if one of them's up, they will time waste. They'll go to like pick up the ball and they'll drop it, and the referees have been